Hello and welcome to back to Fireside Talks, where against our better judgment and against violent protest from Solden, we are doing yet another political compass test. This time we're doing the political coordinates test, and you are very, very displeased, aren't you?
Oh yes, we're becoming a politics channel. This is what I wanted to avoid in life. I remember in the days of yore when I was growing up, and me pappy used to say to me, "Don't get yourself mixed up in politics, son, it's gonna ruin your life." He actually never said much. Not that even. No.
No.
He was a very absent figure.
So, yes, the political coordinates test is one we're doing today. The free political observance test will allow you to obtain your scores on the two major political scales found in Western democracy. Though there are several other. You have a problem with that, don't you?
Yeah, I just found it funny because my brain immediately went because only Western democracies have libertarianism.
Though there are several other political coordinates and political observance tests in existence, these tests have commonly been criticized for seeking to trick the respondent into answering in a certain way. For example, by applying spin to the questions or framing them in such a way as to provoke emotional reactions in the respondent. By contrast, this test attempts to simply confront you with a question without any coating or spin. I mean, is that better for you?
I mean, coating and spin makes for good cotton candy and cakes, but it's an interesting question actually. Should you try to provoke an emotional reaction in a political sort of debate? Because again, politics is also tied to emotion and not just a purely intellectual exercise.
That is kind of what I was also trying to say when we were doing the political compass test, is the fact that if you surprise someone with a political question without actually letting them think about it or try to formulate a pre-planned response, you're going to get their honest opinion on a subject, you know?
Yeah,
which is the reason we're also doing these tests blind, in order for us to not just prepare answers to please the masses, so to speak.
Oh yeah, no, I've never been one for pleasing the masses. Insert slut joke.
You please the masses on a daily basis.
Not these days. There's a pandemic on.
Nah. Alright, so there are 36 questions. We can go strongly disagree, slightly disagree, neutral, slightly agree, and strongly agree. And the first question is, the government should set a cap on the wages of bankers and CEOs.
I think this would be smarter for governments to put a cap on the salary of government employees, especially higher ranking ones, so that you won't pursue executive power for personal gain.
That's true, but when it comes to the bankers and CEOs, it's like, I mean, not so much with the bankers, but with the CEOs, it's like if you if you start a company, you build it up, and that company becomes more and more profitable.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't you be allowed to, harvest the fruit of your labor?
Yeah. With
the bankers, they're just moving money around and doing Ponzi schemes and being cunts. So
yeah, well, bankers is also a little bit of it's. Their money comes from everyone else's money, basically.
I saw a video on it.
Again, yes, I guess you gotta have some motivation. It's like there are arguments for and against that, and I can't really make up my mind on that. Although when it comes to CEOs, yeah, some of them are alright.
Yeah.
And then some of them, like, for example, let's have a look at, Jeff Bezos.
That is so your go-to fucking example.
Well, yeah, he's an easy example for everyone to imagine.
Yeah.
He's the weird, rich, detached, bald guy. Anyway, he could be Batman. Like, he's just got so much money, he could just go out into the streets and be like, you know what, today I'm fixing homelessness.
How do you know he's not Batman? Have you ever seen him and Batman in the same room?
Yes, I have, actually.
Bullshit.
It was a very strange party.
Bullshit.
Yeah, no.
Anyways, where do we land on this?
I don't know. I'm getting neutral on that because it's too nuanced of a question.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. The market is generally better at allocating resources than the government.
No. Whew. That is built on too many assumptions. Because, well, the market and the government is both categories of people. And you can't just...
Yes.
I left the sound connector on. Wow, I'm gonna just mute my TV like a smart person.
Yeah, thank you. No, I'm going slightly disagree on that, given the fact that the government has the power to intervene when monopolies happen.
Yeah.
And, if we leave allocating the resources to the market, we get another Martin Shkreli situation, potentially. Yeah. So I'm going slightly... Actually, I think I'm going strongly disagree.
I'm gonna go slightly, because I feel, again, there's nuance to this. But, yeah.
Alright, well then we're going slightly. Free trade is better for third world countries than developmental aid. What?
It's the question is whether you think it's better for developing countries to have free trade internally and externally, rather than receiving monetary aid from other richer countries.
In order to develop their country to the point where they can.
It's like, hey, if you have to pick either this or that kind of thing, which one will be running with? It's like, which is the better one?
I mean, if you don't have developmental aid to build up your infrastructure, you're not going to be able to take advantage of the free trade because you'll be too busy fighting each other with sticks.
Yeah, but again, all the countries that, the first world countries, quote unquote, we didn't get any developmental aid, and we have now managed to push ourselves into a position where we can give developmental aid. It wouldn't...
Yeah, but how long did it take for us to get into the position where we can give developmental aid?
Norway specifically? 2 years? The oil thing?
Now listen, that isn't developing a country. That's striking gold and screaming, fuck yes.
Yeah.
Alright, pick a better example, please.
Well, I mean, the US... Okay, also not a good example.
No, but I'm just saying, I believe that developmental aid is a better tool than free trading, because...
Developmental aid sets up for good free trade. The problem is making sure those resources are allocated well, because a lot of developmental aid kind of winds up in private pockets rather than in public roads.
So we're going to slightly disagree then?
Sure.
There are too many wasteful government programs.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not, going like, hey, there's too many governmental programs or whatever, because a lot of them are really damn good.
Yeah.
The problem is a lot of them are run really wastefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. And a lot of them are easy to take advantage of in a way that makes them wasteful, even though they are not designed that way.
Yeah, it's not inherently programs bad, it's wastefulness bad.
Yeah, and I tend to agree with that. My country should give more foreign and developmental aid to third world countries, which in this case would be Norway. And
don't have an opinion on it personally. It's basically a non-issue. It's not a should kind of thing. We have no moral obligation to, and we have no moral obligation not to. I think it'd be, if we can ensure those resources are well spent, then I'm all for it, because, I like uplifting humanity. Slap a few fucking...
then again, given the fact that we're on the back end of the corona epidemic, several businesses having gone bankrupt, several infrastructures now rotting from the inside out, I would say that I'd rather see the money go to, rebuilding the country and getting us back to a stable platform before we give developmental aid.
I completely agree.
I mean, not to sound like some fucking patriot national socialist or anything, but please, Norway first, then we can help people.
Yeah,
just let us rebuild what we had before the coronavirus pandemic, and then we can start helping people.
Yeah, you don't cut down the apple tree to feed the family.
No, exactly. So, with the current situation we're having, I'm gonna go slightly disagree, actually.
I'm gonna agree with you on that one. We gotta make sure we got a stable foundation so we don't, collapse basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially.
It's sustainability.
Yeah, like the second we are back on our feet and have a well-functioning infrastructure again,
Yeah.
sure, we can help other countries get back on their feet as well, but we need to help ourselves first.
Yeah, once we're in the green, once we're in the plus, we can then skim that surplus we're getting and use it to improve.
Gotta look out for number one.
No, that's not necessarily like the terminology I'd choose. It's more
This
that
terminology I'm choosing.
it's basically to make sure we don't get into downward spiral where it's like getting into debt when you're young, like things like housing debt and that kind of thing.
Anyways, equality is more important than economic growth.
The fuck kind of silly wanker question is that?
I actually...
Those are two entirely unrelated. What?
So I'm guessing they're asking if we should, prioritize the fact that everyone has equal opportunities, rather, or should we prioritize everyone having equal opportunities, or should we prioritize economic growth? In which case...
Yes? Yeah, prioritize both?
I don't fucking know.
Why? Why are these two set in opposition to one another? Right, it's like, oh, we gotta grow economically, but the only way we can really do that is by putting the black people back in the cotton fields. What? What am I
Not
looking
the
at?
example I would have gone with, but okay.
No, of course I'm pulling an extreme example because this is extremely stupid. Why the fuck is it?
Let's just go neutral and forget the question 6 has ever existed.
Yeah, this one is just confusing. Let's have both, I want economic growth and I want equality.
It almost never ends well when the government gets involved in business.
That seems a very salty statement. Wasn't this supposed to be unbiased?
I mean, it says that it's agenda-free. Point number 2 on why use this test is agenda-free. While there are other political coordinate tests out there, many of them attempt...
Yeah,
fuck you, that's the same thing you said in the intro, you bitch! Or they say they attempt to be agenda-free by putting the questions to you without bias or spin.
I wish it was pushing the gay agenda instead. They got way better ice cream.
Yeah, but then again, if that was the case, I would get so much hate because you know what? I don't fuck with the alphabet mafia.
What?
The alphabet mafia.
What the fuck are you on about?
The LGBTQ2AS plus community.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the fucking alphabet mafia.
Yeah, it's getting too many letters, man.
Okay, you know what? Now we're getting too political.
No, let's roll with this.
No.
Come on.
Listen, it almost never ends well when government gets involved in business.
I want to talk about the gays, man.
We're doing a political test
This
here.
is political, apparently.
We're doing a fucking test.
Yeah, and can't we get sidetracked off of these wanker questions?
No.
Okay, well, fair then. Let's put it on the back burner.
I'm gonna say that government intervention has been used well.
We're gonna put it on neutral because it's a yes and no and nuanced question. We've talked about this.
And I'm honestly not able to lean any more towards disagree than I can to agree.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, and I'd rather think about McDonald's. What? Don't fucking scoff. Yeah.
Surveillance and counter-terrorist programs have gone too far. I tend to slightly agree.
Me too.
Yeah, it's getting up there,
Yeah, it makes me...
I understand that counterterrorism and surveillance is a necessary part of counterterrorism, but that shouldn't infringe on civil liberties, and it shouldn't infringe on,
Yeah, no, I agree. If you get put in prison for making a edgy joke on RuneScape, you gotta...
How about that fucking kid who made an edgy school shooting joke on League of Legends?
Okay, let me just mention... how did that turn out?
He was charged and went to prison.
Josh Pilolt, a RuneScape player, made a edgy school shooting joke on RuneScape. He got put in federal prison for 6-7 years.
Something like that.
Yeah. Cool dude.
I still haven't watched that episode. Rehabilitating criminals is more important than punishing them.
I agree.
I strongly agree.
I very much so agree.
Because,
Then you're
like,
creating resources rather than expending them.
yeah, plus, let's be honest here, the main reason we have jail time is to punish them for the wrongdoing they've done to society. We're taking away their freedom and putting them away in prison. That in and of itself is the punishment. While they are serving their punishment, we should focus on rehabilitating them.
Teaching them new cool skills.
Yes,
making them
like
better
we do here in Norway. There's a reason we have one of the lowest reoffender rates in the world.
Yeah. Then we go to the US,
where punishment seems to be of the highest priority, and they are number one in the world when it comes to incarcerated citizens per capita.
Also, the whole privatized prisons where they can pay off judges to make sure people don't get released on parole, because then the prison people make more money.
Yeah, and then, when they do get out of jail, they have been institutionalized to the point where they can't function in a normal society, and the only way they know how to get by is crime!
And some are so disconnected from normal life that they intentionally get themselves put back in prison.
Yeah, did you ever see Shawshank Redemption?
I did not.
No, do you mind if I spoil?
Dude, everyone spoils Shawshank Redemption. Two guys crawl out of a sewer or something.
No. It's the scene where one of the guys has been in jail. By the way, huge spoiler for Shawshank Redemption. One of the guys gets released from prison after serving 40 years. He's so disconnected from the outside world, he ends up committing suicide because he's so institutionalized. He doesn't know how to function in normal everyday society.
Yeah, it sounds like a reasonable reaction. Like if you're in the US.
We're going strongly agree.
Yeah, let's not be America.
Yeah. Capital punishment should be an option in some cases.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather see them be used for, unethical medical experiments and shit like that.
Yeah,
then again, unethical medical experiments could result in death, which then again could also be seen as capital punishment.
Bazingu.
So I'm strongly agreeing.
Yeah, sometimes if you're gonna put someone away permanently, then they're just a drain on resources, and the holiness of life has an end to it,
Yeah, plus if fucking Breivik, right?
Yeah.
Let's just be honest here. He's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. They're never going to let him out, both for public safety and for his own safety.
If he gets put on the street, it's going to take 2 days max before someone.
Good God, you're optimistic, aren't you?
Yeah, very optimistic. There's going to be people waiting underground right outside the door of the prison.
Yeah,
the moment he steps outside, they pull him through the dirt and shank him.
Yeah, let's be honest here. He's a strain on the taxpayers' money right now. Yeah. Why not just bye?
Test the new corona vaccine on him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I strongly agree. Capital punishment should be an option in some cases.
Yeah, because it's just better use of resources.
If people want to drive without a seatbelt, that should be their decision. No,
because then they're also a threat to others when their corpses fly out the window.
That's the thing, though. Sure, it's bodily autonomy if you want to drive without a seatbelt. But if you are in a car crash, it doesn't only affect you, but it affects the passengers of your car as well, because you're flung around like a goddamn cannonball.
Yeah, projectile ragdoll body corpse thing.
I'm strongly disagreeing.
Even if you're alone in your vehicle, your mangled body is going to fly out the front of it and decapitate some poor jaywalker.
Exactly. So, strongly disagree. Wear your fucking seatbelts.
Yeah, don't be a fucking twat.
Speculation on the stock exchange is less desirable than other kinds of economic activity.
Strongly agree.
What?
Yeah, fuck this. The entire stock market is screwed up. The whole thing shouldn't exist in the first place. Get rid of it. Sure, the fucking GameStop monkeys or whatever. That's fine. Private citizens having a little bit of fun with it. But the whole thing is just, it's such a degenerate fucking Ouroboros of wasted potential.
Okay, fine, sure. So strongly agree, I guess.
At some point, I'm going to launch into a rant about how much I dislike the stock market.
Not today.
Not today.
A strong military is a better foreign policy tool than a strong diplomacy. Slightly agree.
I'm gonna go the what? Talk softly, carry big stick.
That plus let's be real here. The Cold War with the arms race. The only thing that truly prevented it wasn't the fact that they started talking to each other. It was the mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
And I'm also just gonna say that sure, strong diplomacy is a good thing to have.
Yeah, like if you have strong enough diplomacy and good, you gotta have some kind of leverage.
You gotta have something to back it up with.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, listen, we want to do this peacefully, but if you want to go to war, we can go to war. And then you stand behind it with 30,000 tanks.
Yeah, like even if, let's say that you have a mountain made of diamonds. Like, hey, we can pay you off with our mountain made of diamonds if you just leave us alone. And then they can go like, but we have a military and you don't, so what's stopping us from just coming in and taking your mountain of diamonds?
Yeah.
And then just conquering you anyway.
Yeah, and also you can get a lot for you can get far with a kind word. You can get further with a kind word and a gun.
I mean, that also depends on the situation.
So I'm going slightly agree.
Yeah, it's one of those unfortunate realities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of human nature.
Because the universe is a cratocracy.
Overall, security leaks like those perpetrated by Edward Snowden and WikiLeaks do more harm than good. No.
Disagree.
Strongly disagree.
Super. Yeah.
Like, if Edward Snowden hadn't done what he had done, good God, imagine the surveillance state that the US could be right now.
Yeah.
Imagine what was it? WikiLeaks was war crimes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine the continuation of those fucked up war crimes that could happen. No.
Guantanamo Bay.
Strongly disagree. I believe that's Edward Snowden and Julian Assange, was it, that was responsible for WikiLeaks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good people.
Good actions.
Good actions. Sorry, that's a better choice of words. Good actions.
Good actions. Yeah, we gotta have as much transparency as possible.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It reminds me of a quote, if you don't mind.
Sure, I'll let you have this one.
Yeah, Lord Havelock Vetinari in the Discworld books. You kind of saw that coming, didn't you?
Yeah, I kind of saw that coming because you never shut the fuck up about the Discworld books.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So Lord Vetinari, he's in a conversation, and he says that his motives are entirely transparent, and the guy he's talking to does that mean that you can see right through them, or that you can't see them at all?
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Medically assisted suicide should be legal.
Agree.
Yes, we strongly agree. We've already talked about this.
Yeah.
Let's see. It is legitimate for nations to privilege their own religion over others.
That's an interesting question. I'm gonna go with yes. I prefer religious freedom, but
absolutely.
If a state is built upon a religion, being then it's legitimate for them to push that state religion as sort of quote unquote superior because it's kind of their whole structure.
Then again, if we allow that to happen, we will have, situations like the ones that were perpetrated in certain parts of Africa where Christians were persecuted, executed, and excommunicated because they chose to be Christians, though.
So I'm going to say here, legitimate and desirable are not the same thing.
Sure, are we really going to get into semantics and not view it as a world thing?
All right, well, privilege their own religion over others? No, I mean, full religious freedom. Religion should be on a personal level, not a state one. That is my personal opinion, is that no matter your religion, it should be on a personal rather than a societal level. It's sure you can have religious communities and everything, like, the Catholic Church or whatever, but it shouldn't be running any countries or deciding any laws. They can be used to help morally guide some laws within reason, but...
So are we going slightly or strongly?
Let's go with slightly, because semantics.
Yeah, okay, sure. Fucking semantics. Always ruining everything.
Yep.
The government should redistribute wealth from the rich to the poor.
Yes.
It's already happening, though.
It's called taxes.
Yes, that's the thing. Like, this question... I thought oh my god, this test was supposed to be agenda-free.
Yeah, I mean, hell, it's asking whether or not taxation is good. And yes, it is.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
sure, in one way it's asking that, in the other way it's potentially asking, should the government go into bank account of rich motherfuckers, take their money, and just be like, here you go, poor people!
Now everyone has the exact same amount of money, because that worked out so well in the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, I believe that, it's already happening, though, through taxes, through social programs, through governmental aid, like Section 8.
It's not it's not happening because of rich people themselves, though. That's,
No, but then again, we are taxing rich people more.
Yeah, I mean, if rich people were universally inclined to be good people, Bezos' employees would be pissing in jars.
So we're going to slightly agree then.
Slightly agree.
Western civilization has benefited more from Christianity than from the ideas of ancient Greece. No.
No.
Fuck no. Strongly disagree.
As a person with a high degree of historical interest, you must agree that it's a nuanced question because...
Oh, it is a nuanced question, but
they both...
a religion that has brought on several fucking genocides and wars, the bedrock of modern democracy.
Yeah, but like, again...
It's asking, though, benefited more from Christianity than it has from ancient Greece.
No, I wouldn't say more.
No.
No, but there are different ways. Ancient Greece has improved us a lot, shall we say, politically, whilst Christianity has done wonders for
the Spanish Inquisition.
Societal cohesion in quite a lot of ways, and, a lot of the things that came from that. It's very easy to leap at the throat of Christianity and pull a Bowie knife and just try to...
Of course it is.
Edit them a bit, but we gotta look facts in the eyes and say, hey, they brought a lot of good things too. I mean, a lot of people tend to get really miffy talking about Islam, but the Islamic Golden Age did so much for science and technology.
Then again, the myth surrounding Islam usually comes from the religious extremist terrorism that have surfaced in the last couple of years, though.
Yeah, I am not a fan of extremism, fundamentalism, or people pushing their beliefs on others.
So I'm going strongly disagree on this question.
Okay, sure. Let's go with strongly disagree.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
If an immigrant wants to fly the flag of his home country on my country's soil, that's okay with me. Yeah.
If he's put up a little flag in his office and be like, appreciate his own cultural heritage.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, but I don't mind that. But for example, the 17th of May, which is our National Constitution Day and all that, where we fly the Norwegian flag. Yeah, I'm not going to be happy if I walk by, one of those public fucking flagpoles that the government controls and I see something other than the Norwegian flag hanging out there.
Swedish!
That's damn Swedish.
It's fucking Swedish. I don't mind if, Johnny Swedish puts up a fucking flag in his little cute little flag in his garden or something. No. It's his private property. He's celebrating private shit as long as he's not.
He has some, he's moved here to Norway, but he still has some love and pride for his home country, and I don't see the problem in it.
No. Besides, if the system works, in a couple of generations, there'd be all Norwegian flags anyway.
Yeah, so I'm going strongly.
Yeah, it's
I strongly agree.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. It's none of my business unless they're not forcing anything on anyone else. You looking over, seeing a flag and going, "Ree!" And that's more on your that's more your problem than anyone else's.
Yeah. All right. Taxpayer money should not be spent on arts or sports.
Disagree.
Slightly disagree.
Remember the museum talk?
Yes, that is the thing though. Sure, arts and museums and all that has contributed a lot to, our culture, all that.
Yeah, sports, however,
do you really want to spend taxpayer money?
Do we look like sporty people?
So I'm going slightly disagree because I agree we could spend it on art, but not on sports. I'm not a big fan.
I am going to nuance that by saying physical education in schools is a very good and healthy part of growing up.
Yes.
I really liked the sport bits of school growing up, even though I'm not a sports kind of person.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So we're going to slightly disagree.
All right, cool.
Yeah. If we go slightly disagree, then we think they should be spent. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm just
Yeah.
my brain's kind of fried.
I
It's
looked
been a
over,
long
I
week.
got that wire across to I looked over at the screen and I was like,
It's been a long fucking week, and it's only Wednesday. Import tariffs on foreign products are a good way to protect jobs in my country.
I mean, we agreed on that last time.
Yes.
So let's just agree on it again and move on.
Strongly or slightly?
I just go with strongly.
Yeah, because it will protect jobs. So.
Yeah, exactly. So
although you could make the argument that some jobs aren't worth protecting.
Yeah, let's just not start listing them.
Nope, let's not go there.
Move on.
We need to increase taxes on industry out of concern for the climate.
Actually,
I'd rather we, do like environmental policies, stuff like that, and then have
70% of the world's in
ice
cream truck. Can you pause the recording?
No, I'll edit. Can you fucking shut up? Goddamn ice cream truck.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for that strange interruption, but we heard the ice cream truck. So we had to sprint through the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a normal human reaction. Politics is alright, but it's always going to be secondary to ice cream.
Of course. Yeah. So, the question, we need to increase taxes on industry out of concern for the climate. What were you saying?
I do believe it's like 10 companies that provides, I was about to say, 70% of the pollution on the planet.
Mm.
I think some really hefty taxes and fines should be put on companies and those that don't at least try to mitigate their environmental impact. I mean, you've seen beautiful rivers turned into some really nasty, weird color combinations.
Yeah. Like that was the thing I was going to say though. Like
in China. So a lot of good examples.
I would rather have us implement environmental policies, and if the companies actively choose to not follow them, we fine them fairly hefty. I believe that is, a punishment reward system functions better than just straight punishment.
Yeah, 60% of all their earnings.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe a bit extreme, but so I'm going to slightly disagree.
If they put lead in my groundwater, so I can't fucking drink. Like, if I lived in Flint, Michigan, you'd know I'd be raising such a stink about this.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the water.
Haha. So I'm going to slightly disagree.
Sure.
No way.
Agree.
Slightly agree, sorry. Yeah, because I would rather see us implement fines and environmental policies than straight up taxes.
Man, this is some good fucking ice cream.
Yeah. Some people and religions are generally more trouble than others. Yeah. Some people, sure.
Yeah, some people are more trouble than other people. Look at Bayvik again.
Mm-hmm.
He's a lot of trouble. Some religions tend to be more troublesome than other religions, categorically. Like, how often do you hear about, Jainism having...
When was the last time you heard of a Buddhist mass murderer?
Yeah. Yeah, no, like, you don't often hear... you don't imagine the random Tibetan monk running into like Beijing and screaming at the top of his lungs, like, accept inner peace, blowing himself up.
No, you don't hear that too much. So I'm going slightly agree. Marijuana should be legal. Yes, we already discussed that. Monarchy and aristocratic titles should be abolished.
No.
Are you saying this just because you have a fucking lord title?
Yep.
Well, then you have no say in this because you're part of the problem.
No.
I'm going to strongly agree.
Motherfucker, just because you want to get rid of my lord title.
Yes.
No, fuck you.
Just because I don't want you to have anything you can lord over me. Excuse the pun. No, but I believe that...
Is that some sort of peasant joke? I'm too... noble to understand.
No, but I believe that the monarchy and aristocratic titles and all of that is an antiquated, old-fashioned, old-world bullshit that we can do without in modern society.
It depends. There are some decent fucking monarchies, and a lot of constitutional monarchies have the monarchy acting more as a unifying figurehead and diplomatic force.
Listen, I'm not talking about the people who are sitting on the throne in and of themselves. I'm talking about the institutions, which I believe are antiquated old world bullshit that we can do better without in modern society.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be nice to have rulers that aren't as easily influenced by corporate agendas? You see a lot more lobbying be successful in democracies than in monarchies.
That's true, but that doesn't mean we should keep the monarchy. That means we should fix the democracy.
And that's the right response.
Yeah. So I'm going. Okay, fair. I'll mitigate myself down to slightly agree.
I'm gonna chalk that up in a win for the devil's advocate.
Some countries and civilizations are natural enemies. Yeah.
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 Israel and everything around Israel. China and humanity. You might want to edit that one out.
No. I don't really have time for it. So I'm going slightly agree.
Sure.
Yeah. There is at heart a conflict between the interest of business and the interest of society. Yeah.
Not if your business is the betterment of society.
No, but
there's a conflict between how traditionally businesses are run with the interests of society.
Yeah, but a lot of businesses, sure, they seek to better society in ways. For example, Jeff Bezos creating Amazon and therefore making mail order a lot more accessible, therefore making consumerism in society better as a whole. That doesn't mean that Jeff Bezos is nice, does it?
Nope.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go slightly agree, actually.
Yeah, well, sure, whatever.
You've completely lost interest, haven't you?
Nope, I haven't. I'm just gonna instead focus on making sure my floor isn't chocolate damaged.
A country should never go to war without the support of the international community.
I mean, if that's the case, there would be no war because everyone can be like, nah, we don't support war, and then nobody goes to war. I think that'd be an improvement.
Yeah.
Again, though, sometimes war is kind of needed. Yeah, like the whole, you didn't see them talk it out with Nazi Germany.
No, and also I just want to say, now I'm going to have to edit.
Sorry, I like ice cream.
Yeah, but you don't need to crinkle all over the fucking mic.
Sorry.
Let's say, I believe that if a country goes to war without the support of the international community, they shouldn't expect any backup from the international community either. And it doesn't say that the entirety of the international community needs to support them. So, they could have some supporters, they could have some detractors, but I believe that it is important that it is at least understood by other countries why you're going to war. So, see, this is what happens when we get... So I'm going slightly agree.
Okay.
Let's see. The government should provide healthcare to its citizens free of charge.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
We're Norwegian. We're big on that shit.
Yeah. Overall, labor unions do more harm than good.
Nah.
Prostitution should be legal. Yeah.
Yep.
People who turn down a job should not be eligible for unemployment benefit from the government.
Depends on the reason why they turn down said job.
Yeah.
The only job they're offered is like, hey, go out on an oil rig, but I'm in a wheelchair. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, nuance.
I'm going neutral on that, honestly. Homosexual couples should have all the same rights as heterosexual couples, including the right to adopt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Strongly agree. Homosexual couples should have not just the right, but the obligation to invite me along sometime.
Overall, the minimum wage does more harm than good.
Nah.
Government spending with the aim of creating jobs is generally a good idea.
Depends on the jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, let's add another, unnecessary division to whatever.
Stalin spent a lot of resources and money creating mining jobs.
Yeah. Getting some use out of the Siberian tundra.
Yeah, but like in general though, like creating more jobs and allowing for more spots to offer up jobs and all that, I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing though.
Not necessarily a bad thing, no, but when you're doing the whole thing just to make jobs,
yeah,
it's kind of a first world problem there.
Slightly disagree, I guess.
I can imagine some bad scenarios coming out of it.
Yeah, I can imagine some good scenarios as well.
Exactly.
Immigration to my country should be minimized and strictly controlled.
We're in a pandemic. Yes.
I'm just going to go ahead and guess that this thing doesn't exactly factor in the coronavirus.
But what do you do?
But I'm going to have to go with slightly disagree. Let in people. Like, I'm not saying, open borders, let everyone who wants to come in, because there should be some security. There should be some control. There should be, but I still don't believe in the whole, like, close down the borders, don't let anyone come in as a general rule.
I'm going to have to...
I mean, then again, of course, with the corona pandemic and all of that, shouldn't really...
I'm going to have to disagree with you a little bit right now. Because,
okay.
Yeah, and that is probably raising your eyebrow a bit, seeing as I'm such a, you cool motherfucker with a lot of immigrant friends. Now...
Shut up with your tokenist bullshit, I swear to God!
It's funny. It's really funny to phrase it like that. But yeah, no, the thing is, immigration has been at a very high rate compared to previously. If we look at Norway recently. And the social security systems aren't calibrated for it, and we don't have a really good system for integrating immigrants.
Yeah.
At this moment, it would be a better idea to shut down immigration for a while, fix all these problems so that immigrants can be properly, added to the country without it destabilizing the economy or creating, ghettos, basically.
Yeah, I mean, then again, that comes back to, remember when we had the political compass test, you said this isn't a binary tariffs on, tariffs off kind of thing.
Yeah.
This should absolutely be regulated according to what the country and the economy and the social services can handle.
Precisely.
But I do believe that, I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
we seem to be on opposite ends of this, and given our other rules, that means neutral.
Yeah. I think it's a good time with the whole corona thing to just shut down the whole thing.
Oh yeah, no, with the whole corona pandemic, absolutely, we should keep the land borders closed and be like, no one comes in.
Yeah, and it's a really good time to make sure that immigration can function properly, so that we don't create ghettos and that people
like they have in Sweden.
Yeah, exactly. So we can integrate new people into the country. Give them jobs.
Wow. We are smack dab in the middle between Clinton and Obama.
Well, that sounds like the worst threesome I've ever had.
We are 33.3% left and 36.1% liberal.
Well, since we got some time left, let's talk about the LGBT.
No, we don't have time left.
Oh.
We don't. Listen, this episode was dedicated to this political coordinates test, and that was it. If you want to discuss the alphabet mafia, we can do that in the next episode.
We used up all our extra time buying ice cream.
Yeah, you did. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been it for this time. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to drop a like, comment, subscribe. Yes, I'm doing the standard YouTube outro. Fuck you, you said it was too chaotic last time.
Oh no, my integrity.
Oh,
It burns.
also, fuck, I almost forgot. This episode not brought to you by VPN because they haven't approached us yet. Please, Daddy VPN, we beg of you. Why don't you subscribe just because of that, eh?
Okay, let's take a half-minute segment. What do you want to be sponsored by? Besides Bad Dragon.
I don't want to be sponsored by Bad Dragon.
Dude, being sponsored by Bad Dragon would be such a big dick move.
What, you're gonna fucking set Moby huge in your goddamn living room?
That's not by them, and yes, I would.
Of course you
Yeah,
fucking...
dude, like...
If I could choose, honestly, Skillshare. Skillshare would be kind of cool to be sponsored by.
You've used them?
I've used Skillshare, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything like anything that like promotes learning,
Yeah.
like the Smithsonian or Magellan TV, like anything that has like proper historical documentation on various things throughout history, presented in high quality and with 30% off for the first 100 people to press the link in the description, kind of thing.
Salmonella Academy. Oh wait, that's shut down now, isn't it?
Probably. Yeah, no, like stuff like that. I know what I don't want it to be sponsored by.
Raid?
Raid Shadow Legends.
I was about to say Raid the insect product.
Yeah, so yeah, no. Like, no.
That's a good answer. Yeah, but like personally, if we can't get away with Bad Dragon, or any other like sex toy
I will cut this off, I swear to God.
I just want to find a really good footwear manufacturer, because you can't go wrong with a good pair of boots that lasts a long while.
Fair.
Yeah, like really good solid boots that you can just have for 20 years. That's someone I'd like sponsoring me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right, well, yeah, so this episode not brought to you by anything.
No, except us.
Except us.
We're
very sorry.
Yeah, we're what you get. You're stuck with us. You're welcome.
Alright, so I guess this is where we leave it off. We really got to get some sort of standardized outro, don't we?
No. This is what they come here for. They skip all the content just to hear the outros.
Just the chaotic bullshit outro we have.
Yeah, this is why we shouldn't have any structure at all. We should just make a podcast. Just sit around and talk.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
See you guys later.
Yeah.
Goodbye.